Hello, we'll be starting shortly. Okay, so welcome to Friday Night Flights. I'm going to do a sound check right now. Okay, we'll see if the audio works right. I think it worked fine in the Diamond D62, but not sure. Certainly better than it was when I was using Shadowplay. We're back in Microsoft Flight Simulator here in my old hometown of Watsonville, California. Yeah, so sort of a connection to me. My brother used to work as a ANP here. I believe in buildings that used to be here. Apparently, they're not there anymore. And we're here at, I believe, the FPO, which I forgot the name of now. Anyway, this CJ4 is available in the standard edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Um, But I do have the free working title mod, version 0.12.14. That is all I've ever flown with the CJ4. I've never flown the stock one, so I'm not sure what it adds. Uh, and I learned how to fly it last weekend, so wanted to take it for another flight. Okay, there's a good chance it'll be nighttime once we get to our destination of Truckee, California. Maybe a early season ski trip, although I don't know if there's any snow there. It's supposed to get some snow there this coming few days, so we shall see. So let's go through this checklist. First of all, the battery goes on. Avionics goes to dispatch. Okay. And then we go to pause init. Press RSK4 to copy our GPS position. Let's turn on the GPU. For that, we go to index, next page, mod set, and we turn on the GPU. It's not actually modeled. You don't see anything out here. But it does supply power, so we don't have to be on battery for quite so long. Okay, so now let's get the flight plan. Go back to index, go to the route menu, and I have the flight plan loaded into SimBrief already. SimBrief is owned by Navigraph, so let's load that. Takes a few seconds here. Okay, now we have to see which LIN we want. It looks like it should be this one. Okay, now let's execute. Okay, and now enter the departures and arrivals. I'm actually... let me see. Let's go up here to Navigraph. This is kind of incredibly slow. V1 Simulations the other day said he hated this, but he used it anyway, and I can understand. Okay, so we're leaving on the Watsonville 4 departure. Oh my gosh. And which takes us out here, gets us back on this inbound track to the Salinas VOR, and then we'll head eastbound before heading northbound. Okay, so let's go to the departures for the Watsonville 4, runway 2. Execute. That came from SimBrief. Let's go back. Arrive. We're doing the RNAV for runway 11. Let's do that. Coming from Cigna, which is out here towards the west. And that's it. No stars. Okay, let's take a look at the legs here, see if there's any duplicates. And here's one duplicate. That's Salinas. So Salinas to PXN. Let's close this. Salinas PXN. Lynn to Murek. Lynn to Murek. HNW. Oops. To Cigna. And then we start our approach. Cigna to Rond. So let's delete this. Execute. To Lucky Fampu to Suyo and Martyr, and then this is a little offset, so we'd better be visual by then, or we're not landing here. All right, that looks good. Okay, let's continue down the checklist. I'm running the checklist on my iPad here, my physical iPad, so you can't actually see it. Okay. Yeah, actually, why don't we do this plan as well? Up on the MFD, lower menu, go to plan mode. Let's go to MFD Advance. So we're at Watsonville here. We should head south. Okay. To Salinas. Up here, Lynn is probably Linden. To Cigna, we start our approach. Okay. So that does look good. Let's go back to PPAUSE mode and escape from the menu. Go back to the legs. Okay, now let's go to Perfinet. So we're flying at flight level 430. That's kind of amazing. Okay, let's see passengers and fuel. So passengers 7, fuel shows 979. It is quite a short flight, so this looks fine. And it's sensed. What did I say? 7. Flight level 430. Okay, that looks fine. Current wind. This is a little bit painful here in MSFS. Watsonville. So we've got no wind. Not too surprising. 10 miles visibility. That is kind of surprising for a Watsonville evening. and 15 degrees. Well, let's enter 0/0 for the wind. 0/0. Okay, there we go. 15 for the temperature. And pressure, is 30/30. Man, that's really high. I need to set it back to... Let me see if you can do it here. Does that do it? Or is that just for weights and things? Yeah, here we go. So 30/30. 30.30. Okay. Wind 0, temperature 15. This all looks fine. Okay, go to the next page. So these are the V speeds it calculated. V1 is the decision speed, rotate speed, single engine best climb. So let's send that to the PFD. Okay, it's all in blue, so it's all sent to the PFD, which is still off right now. Okay, let's get to starting engines. So the first thing we'll do is turn ground power off. Go back to index, next, mod set, GPU off. We should get a ding, and we're not getting a ding, so apparently I don't know this as well as I was hoping. Let's head down here, turn on the safety belts, beacon and nav.
Please. The captain has turned on the seatbelt sign. Please fasten your seatbelt and shoulder harness at this time. Thank you.
Okay, so these are on. Okay, let's see how it looks outside. Okay. Now we can start the engines. Let's start left first. So I'll turn on the starter, unguard this, and that'll start the engines. Ignition on. Should also see I should get out of here. Okay, then hang a left here. Okay. Let's do the same for engine 2. So these do sound pretty good. Don't know how they compare with the real thing. So I do think CJ4s look really, really good. The nose is a little bulbous. I think the Phenom nose looks quite a bit better. But overall, it's a really slick looking plane. All right. So 2 good engines. Okay. Avionics on. Emergency lights armed. Backup display. Target altitude is 43,000. So look at that on the PFD. I felt a little nervous about that 43,000. Okay, flight level 430. Altimeter is 3030. Very, very high. Okay, believe. Oh, I thought that was synced up here. Okay. Runway heading. Let's take a look. Oh my god. I hope Navigraph improves that. This is a little painful. So 018 heading. All right. So elevator trim. Okay. Set flaps 15. Turn on taxi. Light. Might as well turn on logo as well.
May I have your attention, please? At this time, please comply with the illuminated seatbelt and no smoking signs. Thank you.
Okay. So it's going down fast. I'll probably end up in the dark in Truckee, so I don't really feel like landing in the dark at Truckee, so I'll probably change the time before we get there. Give it a little throttle. These guys really need to get out of the way. Hold on. I am not getting any. I think my pedals got disconnected. Okay, hopefully that'll work. That's pretty annoying. Okay, let's just cross over to United Flight area here. Okay, that's better. I'll take the long way around a little. So there's kind of a cool video of a King Air, I believe 350 or 300 series, leaving Watsonville from this very spot. And our family has a long history of coming here for the fly-in, but eventually there was no money for a fly-in, so they ended those several years ago. It's a real shame. It was a lot of fun. Surprised how clear it is? I suppose because it's cold inland, we don't really get a marine layer. It's more of a summer thing, I suppose. A lot of times in the evening and the morning, we get fog coming in from the ocean, which is not far from here. But if it's cold, then yeah, you don't see that as much. Actually, I am going to change the time now. If I remember how. Was it the weather where you did that? Okay. Okay, going 24 knots ground speed. This is a lot like how Watsonville looks. It's quite impressive. X-Plane has quite a good Watsonville too. I haven't seen it in X-Plane 12 yet. But whoever worked on that, and in X-Plane, they crowdsource their airports. So I have quite a few in there, if I haven't mentioned that already. Simpler airports. But someone spent a bunch of time on the Watsonville one. I even communicated with him a little bit. And he did a very, very good job. Okay, here's our hold short. Okay. So we turn on landing lights and strobe. Set TARA. Pitot-static heat on. And this is one place where, oops, working title says it's a little bit separated from reality as you turn on toga here. Enables takeoff mode here. See 43,000. Let's turn on nav. Flight level change. We'll get out of here at 240. Oops. That increased a lot faster than I expected. $240. Okay, that's looking good. We'll make a right turn. If we have an engine failure before V1, we'll stop on the runway. After V1, we'll deal with it in the air. 30-30, 30-30, 3 times. Okay. Oh, turn on the air conditioning. Okay, looks good. I feel like those lights are a little overdone, but not sure. Maybe that's right. Okay, let's give it a little power. So the ocean is right sort of about 45 degrees from where we are, and not far. Okay, clear runway. Let's get our heading bug lined up here. Okay, it's not really showing on the MFD, but after taking off, we'll make a right turn and intercept here. I'll probably turn on the autopilot around there. We'll take a look at the HSI to see when would be an appropriate time. We got flight level change mode, ALNAV. Let's power up. We'll go to full throttle. Okay, rotate. Positive rate, gear up.
Visibility 10. Sky condition, few clouds at 2,800 feet, 5,000 feet scattered. Temperature 15. 2.10. Altimeter 30.32.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get that turned off. Flaps up. How do you turn that off? There we go. Okay. That looks like what this area looks like. A lot of farmland out here. Oh, need to go to climb power. Little overbank there. Let's keep our speed down by pitching up. Okay, a little bumpy. Okay, gonna turn on autopilot. Yaw damper. So at 10,000 feet, set the speed. What am I missing here? Oh, there we go. To 270. If I can here. There we go. Okay, turn off the landing lights. And logo light. Okay, and turn off seat belts. There we go, there's the ocean. Right off the coast of Watsonville. Heading south to Salinas. Okay, got the Monterey Bay Aquarium somewhere around here. I think that's a Elkhorn Slough. Or maybe that is. I'm not really sure. See what else I can recognize. Probably not much at this altitude. There's Salinas over here. So this is probably Highway 101. So getting to our transition altitude pretty soon. Go to a standard barometer, standard altimeter. Okay, things are looking good there. 17,000 feet. Here's the Salinas Mountains. They are surprisingly tall, like 4,000 feet at least, maybe more than that. Okay, 18,000 feet. Let's go to standard barometer here and oh, that already got set. Don't know what vintage it. Oh, what is that called? Carmel Valley Vintage. Is that an airport? Not really sure. But yeah, that is looking really, really good. Yeah, so I don't live down here anymore. Not since, uh, basically not since college or leaving high school. Okay, let's zoom out our MFD. Oh, that actually zooms out both MFD and PFD. With this control, you can see a sharp turn coming up. And curious where our top of descent is. If we're at 43,000, we're not going to be up there very long. Yeah, I can't really see. We probably might not be able to see until we're at altitude. So still getting used to Microsoft Flight Simulator. I probably already mentioned in another video that SU10 I was so impressed with. Wasn't that impressed before, but SU10 I think is really fun. And SU11 is coming out in a few days, next week sometime, and that'll be the 40th anniversary edition. So not super interested in the new planes, to be honest, but curious to see what new airports they have. I think they said they have 4 new handcrafted airports, but I haven't seen which ones they are. But I tend to like new things. I think the newest thing they have is the Airbus. Was it the A310? Which is already too old for my taste. Love flying the Airbus A320. And I mentioned last week that, or at some time anyway, that I was interested in getting the Phoenix. I'm sort of putting purchases on hold for a bit until Black Friday in a couple of weeks, just in case those things go on sale. Would like to get that, and what else? There was something else I forgot. Oh, FS Realistic. Don't think there's anything I wanted to get for X-Plane. Pretty much have everything there that I want. At the moment, I am looking forward to the Hot Start Challenger. Getting the X-Plane 12 compatibility, and they've been working on it. Kind of a big job for a model that complicated. I do want to see if the Coronado Beach 1900D works in XP12. That's interesting here. But was very glad to see the Diamond D62 made XP12 compatible. That is such a fun plane. The now the one I'm waiting for is the Aerobasque Phenom 300 to be XP12 compatible, and the Airfoil Labs Beechcraft King Air 350. But there is the MSFS Beechcraft 350 has quite an amazing mod. The analog mod. It's sold by Just Flight. Simwork Studios, is that what it was called? Who makes it? It's about $40 US. It's interesting, but I don't know. I like the Airfoil Labs one for X-Plane a lot. It's just not XP12 compatible. So hopefully that's coming. Airfoil Labs did make their digital Cessna 172 X-Plane 12 compatible. So I have every hope they'll do that with their King Air, because it is very excellent and a lot of fun. Has a has a walk around mode. I may have to get a drink of water soon. Yeah. So it's just sort of a step below the work that Hot Start does on the Challenger. Oh, and the TPM. That's not XP12 compatible either. And I do like the 900s, TBM 900s more than the 930s. I like the avionics better. Though that might be just a matter of getting used to the G3000. I also wanted to try the Microsoft Flight Simulator Cessna Caravan. I have the Thranda Caravan. It's nice. I'm really not feeling it though, and I'm not quite sure why. Thankfully, I got it at a huge discount because they accidentally put the wrong discount price on it temporarily. And I saw it and thought, wow, that is really generous. And then a few minutes later, the price was still the discount price, but it went up quite a bit from what I paid. So I got extremely lucky there. Yeah. So is that Clear Lake? I'm not really sure. I don't really know of a moving map. Is there one in FSFS? I don't see anything that looks like that. VFR map? Oh yeah, okay. Doesn't really identify anything but airports though. Okay. Yeah, that's one nice thing about Avatab, that free add-on in X-Plane. It gives a very detailed map that identifies just about everything. Okay, so the other plane I want to learn is the Citation Longitude. It doesn't have the really complete mod that this has. This has, as I mentioned, the working title mod. And there are flight model mods, or a flight model mod for the Longitude, but that's kind of it. But I was watching, I think it was Overkill, do a video on the Longitude last night with that mod, and it actually looked very, very nice. It's got the Garmin G3000 avionics, and that is a 2-pilot plane, I believe. This is a single pilot, I believe. What are we at? 37. Okay, there's our top of descent. There's the banana. So we'll have a short time at altitude. So let's take a look at this thing that, this is a Navigraph. They do excellent work. This needs more work. I use this on my physical iPad during a flight, and it is super fast, but it certainly is not here. Yeah, so Let's take a look at our target altitude. So 11.4 between Cigna and Rond. Then 10.8. Then Lakey. We'll go down to 9,700. And then pick up the approach glide slope here. Let's see. Not authorized for arrival on SWR VOR. Procedure not authorized at night. Well, yeah, okay. So I need to change the time anyway. Use local altimeter. Runway 11 helicopter. Final approach course offset 20 degrees. Oh, that's a lot. Cold temperature, altitude correction required at or below 18 or minus 18. Pilot controlled lighting. Okay. I have not seen a simulation of pilot controlled lighting, which would be pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, I got some intense terrain because this is Truckee, California. Go skiing right around here. Squaw Valley. I mostly ski to the west, or skied to the west of here. I have skied at Squaw Valley before. It was not my favorite. There's a place called North Star that I liked a lot. But I haven't skied in quite a while. The last time I went skiing, I just had nothing but a not fun time. Okay, let's put that away. Let's see where we are on the outside. Wow, that is really blown out. Wonder if there's some photographic filter mods for MSFS.
Altitude.
Okay, got 1,000 feet left. Interesting, this pattern in the mountains here. I don't know if it's glacier carved or what. Then we got lots of flat out here in the Central Valley. And then the Sierras over here, which we'll see in great detail pretty soon. Okay. Okay, we're just about at altitude and we need to start the top of descent quite soon. Oh boy, I don't feel like bringing out that Navigraph thing right now. Just bring it up on the iPad that you can't see. Or I can bring it up this way. Okay. Right. So I'll target 11.4. So we're at altitude. Let's go to cruise power. And then set 11.4 here. Oops. Wow, that was a big jump. 11.4. Okay. So, not sure where we are. I don't know what Del Mar Farms is. Don't see snow. I think those are clouds, right? Yeah, as we get to winter, I'm looking forward to see how the snow works in X-Plane 12. I believe it it doesn't accumulate while you have the snow, or sorry, when you have the simulator turned off. And so if it's not snowing at that moment in a snowy area, you won't see any snow, I believe. And of course, it's still in early beta, so that might change. Whereas in Microsoft Flight Simulator, if it's not snowing now, but it has been, and it hasn't gotten too warm, then you will see snow on the ground. Unfortunately, a lot of times the aprons have not been plowed in MSFS, which seems a little weird, potentially realistic in some cases, but like I once looked at Nook, Greenland in MSFS, and they have a live webcam like going almost all the time, and you can clearly see they had snow, but their aprons were clean. In MSFS, the aprons are completely invisible under snow. Whereas in X-Plane, it showed no snow at all. And a clean apron, of course. But if it is snowing in X-Plane 12, at that moment, then you do see the accumulation. Okay. This is, I can sort of see some of the texture of the Sierras here. So I don't know if there's a database of where snow is. I would really doubt it because that can change even hour to hour. So I'm guessing Microsoft Flight Simulator calculates where snow should be. I didn't realize this little ball, I forgot what these are called, has fallen off. That's probably true on a lot of planes. So that's interesting and nice touch. Oh, we also have interior lights here. That's pretty cool. Let's see if I can do that faster. Nope. Okay. And it really does light up the panel. So yeah, I haven't gone real deep into this model. Got our top of descent there. Yeah, so I don't know what much. Oh, well, it's not even simulated. Not even modeled. And that's probably fine. That's probably for something kind of esoteric. You do have these upper and lower menus simulated. In fact, we can go down to FMS text. Get a little better information there. Keep an eye on our top of descent. Got an airport there. Do not. Oh, it said it for a moment. I wish. Oh, here we go. Stockton. All right. So that's a little north of Sacramento. Spent a little time there. Okay, top of descent coming real soon. So let's start the descent. So do vertical speed. So our ground speed is, I should have looked at that first. 340. So we'll go down at 22. Pull the throttles back. Let's keep this for now at 200 knots indicated. So we have this guidance here. So let's try to match that up. All right, and let's take a look at our approach. Okay, let's see if we can get that data. Probably not. Lodi. No. Let's look it up on the web. Oh, here's the working title webpage, by the way. Okay, we have wind 090 at 4 degrees. Zero nine zero at 4 degrees, and 3028, 30.28 right there. Okay, there's our VREF and VApproach, so let's send that to the PFD. Okay, now they're blue. They'll show up as bugs on the PFD. Okay, so 113 and 106. And oh, we do have snow. That's pretty good. Doesn't really start in a sharp line like that, but oh well, at least it shows it. Oops. Okay. And got some wind up here. Got a lot of wind, 51, but that'll go down. I'm not sure why there's another top of descent marker here. Oh, because we're a little below schedule, I think. So let's get above. Give it a little more throttle. To reduce the angle of descent a little. See how that goes. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty sure this LIN is Linden, which is if you head up to the Sierras from the west, you'll see the sign for Linden. Okay, it's looking a little better. Yeah, I feel like they should tone down the sunlight. Maybe that's realistic, but it's a little harsh and makes things hard to read. Okay, 34,000. Let's pick up the vertical pace a little. Oh, and go to VNAV mode, actually. Forgot about that we had that. So it'll figure it out for us. And there's no auto throttle, so you have to control the speed. I believe the longitude does have auto throttle, but since I haven't flown it yet, I'm not totally sure. But I think Overkill mentioned that. Okay. So from Watsonville to Truckee, we're probably talking a 4-hour drive, but we're just doing it in a short evening here. If we happen to have a CJ4 sitting around. Let me see what we got here. Okay. Let me see here. Having sometimes having a hard time navigating the camera views here, since I'm used to X-planes, and X-planes are really a lot better. And there is a replay. But I don't want to go to it right now until I learn it better. And I think I had a third-party replay, but I don't see it. Yeah, this doesn't get us that. So, yeah, I gotta set that up so you can do replays. Unfortunately, you have to turn on the recording to get a replay, so you have to remember to do that. Where X-Plane records everything. You don't even have a choice, so your replays are always there, which is really nice. Okay, we're down at 29.4. Now tracking the diamond here much better, since it's all automated now in VNAV mode. So pretty impressive the CJ4 has that. There's a YouTube channel, Citation Max, hosted by a guy named Max, who flies the Citation CJ3 Plus, maybe? Yeah, so his videos are pretty interesting. I think he and his dad own that for their business. Forgot what their business was. But apparently brand new CJ4s are about 9 million, which is really not that bad, considering that's about the price of a King Air 350i. And I imagine the King Air 360 is quite a bit more, because I don't know all the differences, but I know one of the major differences between the 350i and the 360 is auto throttle that the 360 has, and that cannot be cheap, I would think. Okay, getting a little slow here. Okay, so we are, boy, it's kind of hard to read this. 2.3 from HNW, 40 miles from Cigna. So yeah, we can afford to pick up the pace a little. Whoa. Yeah, that is where it's snow looks good, where it's not snow looks good. The transition is a little weird. Yeah. So, I know what it says there. Georgetown? Okay, I've never even heard of this. Lived in California my whole life. So many places I still have never heard of. Okay, so there's our whole approach path, which starts at Cigna, right there. Got a little ways to go to get there. Like 35.2 miles. So the altimeter will be 30.28. So once we get to 18,000 feet, got to remember to put that in. And oh, you can actually preset these, which is pretty good. Then when we hit 18,000 feet, we can just flip this, and it'll switch it to that immediately, which is pretty good. The Boeing 737 has that. The Challenger has that. But I haven't seen a lot of planes with that, aside from airliners. I've really missed flying the Challenger. Don't know when. I doubt they know when it'll be ready for X-Plane 12. But really looking forward to that a lot. Okay, zoom out a bit. Or zoom in a bit, rather. So, I would think we'll be in a snowy area, as rendered here. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, if it is snowy, I hope they clean the apron. So we're at 23.4. There's some intense terrain around here. And yeah, even the cabin is very nicely modeled. I don't know how to walk through the cabin. Well, I do know one way, but it's pretty rough in MSFS, and you can't open the door. I believe the Cicada with a mod, you can open the door, which is right cool. Be nice if Microsoft or Asobo actually modeled those with opening doors. Hopefully the some of the models coming in the 40th anniversary edition next week will be a little more detailed, because a lot of them come from third-party manufacturers that Microsoft has partnered up with, like InnoBuilds. So those should be pretty nice. InnoBuilds does good work. I'm not real familiar with them, but I know people like them a lot. They make the Airbus A310, I believe, for X-Plane. I think they're doing a release in a few days, like an update or something. Yeah, so I have been flying this in FS Economy. For those who don't know, FS Economy is a sort of a world that you fly around in, and you can rent planes and pick up people and cargo and get paid, and you build up your money until you can buy your own plane or buy FBOs at airports. So yeah, right now I own a couple of planes, which is one is the King Air 350, the other is a Phenom 300. But I'm also a member of a group that has both CJ4s and Longitudes. So that's where I've been getting a little practice in and making money for both of us, both me and the group. Okay, we're at 19.3. Well, I guess you come down to 220. So pulling the throttles back. Blue Canyon. Yeah, you'll drive right through there if you head up to some of the ski resorts. Okay. Actually, now that we're close, this transition between snow and non-snow is looking pretty good. That's real impressive. Didn't look that way from a distance. Got fog in the canyons. Right now that is kind of a blue canyon. But once you're there, it's mostly green. And let's zoom in a little. So we are 10 miles from Cigna. targeting 11.4, and then we'll go to 10.8 once we're past Cigna. So we're at 220. I'd like to slow down to maybe 210. So yeah, right now I feel like we're in a little bit of a plethora of riches because Explain Tool was looking pretty good. They just released an update yesterday, I think, that is getting good reviews. So hoping to try that later tonight, maybe. Let's see. Let's go to 200 knots and set our altimeter. Oh, I already did. Already forgot. Dang. There we go. 3028 here. 3 times. Did that a little late. Okay, again, our V approach is 113, VREF 106. And getting close to Cigna. So we only have 2 notches of flaps, so I'll set 1 notch here. Then the second notch around Fampu. Lower the gear before Fampu. Okay, we're past Cigna, so set the altitude to 10.8. And after 10.8 is 9,700 past Lecky. Okay. So yeah, one thing I really want to work on is what speed are we going? 190. Yeah, let's stick to that for now. Give it a little power. But one thing I want to work on is my camera views. Maybe try to make it a little closer to X-planes so I don't keep confusing myself. This snow is looking awesome. That is something. Dang. Yeah, so maybe this weekend I'll do that. Also, I've always heard mixed reviews about GSX with the ground handling, but apparently recent versions have been quite good, and it looks incredible with the actual ground crew workers putting suitcases in. Now, I don't know if that only works in the airliners or what. But I was super impressed with that. I mostly heard that setup can be a little difficult. I do have FSTL to set up traffic. I haven't used that very much, mostly because I keep forgetting. But hope to use that a little more. Should see if I've got the latest version. Okay, so after what? Oh yeah. After Ron, we'll do the first notch of flaps around here.
Altitude.
Okay, let's set 9,700. That is not what I wanted. 9700. That looks so good, including in the shadows of the mountain. Dang, as V1 likes to say, V1 Simulations likes to say, that is juicy. His channel is an excellent resource in real-world ops since he's a real A320 captain. And has a history of flying things like the King Air. We're at 180. Let's increase things a little bit here. I think the first notch of flaps you can do at 200. We'll do flaps here, first notch in a minute or two. Totem Pole Ranch. Doesn't look like you can go skiing here, but with all the trees. But looking pretty good. More than pretty good. Dang, look at this. That is so real looking. Nice. So, it's one thing I like about winter is get a little more interesting weather for flight simulation. I used to try to fly like bonanzas around Minnesota in the winter and found you kind of can't because, oh, I didn't set flaps, because the icing level gets so low. So I guess if you live there, you just store your plane for the winter.
Altitude.
All right. Get up speed here on the turn. Hello. I hope we're not crashing. Okay. Dang. Heart rate went up on that one. Okay, let's go below 200 so I can put out flaps. Drop the gear right now. With the short stubby Citation gears. Now the first notch of flaps. So there's Truckee Tahoe. Hope we can see the runway. Okay, let's do the approach. That should arm in a second. $150. Okay, let's do another notch of flaps. I noticed in MSFS, putting flaps down doesn't balloon you as much as X-plane. I mean, in most planes, you seriously balloon in X-plane. Boy, this mountain's looking a little dangerous for the approach. Let's get out our binoculars here. Okay, I see the runway. It is, yeah, that is quite offset. Okay. We're close to approach speed, I believe. Yep. get another look at that. Yeah. Okay. Let's
Autopilot.
break off now. Do the offset approach. Boy, these mountains are pretty scary, I tell ya. Okay. I see the runway. I can see why this is not authorized at night. This is quite hazardous. Oh, I saw the runway for a bit there. Okay, there it is, covered in snow. No reversers on this. Oh, we got our brakes. I think I overshot a bit. It was kind of hard to see. Okay, I got it now. A little high, a little fast. It's a bad combination. Landing long. There we go.
Altitude.
Just brakes all the way. Oops. Brought the nose up accidentally. Oops. In my efforts to get this slowed down. There we go. Whew. Nice. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, airport. Dang. Okay. I can't zoom. Okay, there we go. So I can get off at uniform. Come back. Cross runway 220. Then enter the ramp just anywhere along here. Okay, that sounds good. Let's raise the flaps. Some really chunky looking snow here. So, interesting. I really think they should render this as plowed, not covered in snow. So I think at an airport like this, it typically would be plowed. No way to know, of course, but I feel like they should just make that assumption. It does look really good, though. Look at the snow on top of the branches. That's really cool. Okay, what is that truck anyway? And I wish it would move. It's a bus. Oh, there you go. Stop. Stop, bus. He's not stopping. Oh well. Okay, let's go into the apron here. Why are there so many buses on the apron? This is a taxiway. Okay, I feel like there's more of an FPO looking thing over there. So park behind that pickup. Well, they're really into buses here. Don't know why. It's a good looking truck there though. A good looking forklift. Okay, let's stop here. Just realizing I forgot to set the landing lights. Okay, well, that's really good. Parking brake. Let's turn the avionics off. And to shut down the engines, just unguard these and push these. Could hardly be simpler. All right. So there is our CJ4 flight from Watsonville to Truckee. From someplace cold to someplace much colder. Yeah, so that is one sharp looking plane. Must say, that is, like that a lot. So, yeah, next week maybe I'll do the longitude. We'll see how much I like it. But anyway, if you're watching, thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time.